Hello, everyone. Mike Arnold here, co-founder of Path Trading Partners, along with Bob Agino. How's everyone doing? Good afternoon, Patrick. The Bears. I don't know the ending of the game, so I had to record the weekly sector overview and then get everything ready for this, so don't know the ending yet. Happy short trading week, George. Gary says, go Cowboys. So I take it you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, not another kind of cowboy. Hey, Gary. All right, shortened session today. Feeling a bit under the weather, but didn't want to abandon everybody. So let's just get right to it. Hope everyone is having a wonderful weekend. If you are new here, please do consider subscribing. Longer term subscribers, hit the like button, ring the bell, consider joining the channel. That's all I have to say. Confirmation that Gary is a Cowboys fan. God's afternoon, or is that good afternoon? Well, technically Sunday is God's day, so it's God's afternoon too. Is God a Cowboys fan? That's what I want to know. So that's what I want to know. I think a lot of Cowboys fans think so. I used to live in Dallas, so I can pick on the Cowboys. All right. What do we have going on? And I figured that's what you meant, Sterling. Good afternoon. Glad you're here. So we got, remember, short and trade, big information first. Thanksgiving in the U.S. here on Thursday, so nothing is open on Thursday. And I won't be doing live streams on Thursday. Not happening. I'm not even going to check in on I'll probably check in for myself on Bitcoin and the FX markets, but I'm not doing a live stream, so you won't see me. Friday is a shortened trading day. The stock market is open. The futures market is open. It is a shortened trading day, though. I'll come on to do a morning live stream. So keep that in mind. Wednesday, since it's rolling into Thanksgiving, is going to be a very quick live stream. I'm going to try to get some extra rest. I have not been feeling so great, so I'm going to take advantage of the shortened week, and then everything else will still be a weekly sector overview. They'll still be next Sunday, will be as normal. So, and I think I'll see everybody there, but if for some reason you're traveling or I don't see you on a live stream, everybody in the U.S., happy Thanksgiving. Everybody who's tuned in from Canada, happy Thanksgiving back in October. And everybody around the world, have a very happy week. All right, we got that all out of the way. Yeah, see, hole in the roof so he can watch. I was right. Gary confirmed that God is a Dallas Cowboys fan. No one expects a live stream on Thanksgiving, but with your wife, a happy birthday this week. Yeah, my wife's birthday is tomorrow. Thank you very much, Patrick. So so I think tomorrow the afternoon live stream might be a bit shorter. I got some grass-fed, grass-finished Nebraska fillets that were sent in. Arrived on Friday. Gonna sous vide those, flash sear them on the grill with the grill grates, and then we're making some risotto. Got some jumbo shrimp for some fresh shrimp cocktails with some really spicy seafood sauce with like fresh grated horseradish in it. So it is the kind that'll blow your brains out. So that'll be fun. That will be fun. Hopefully I'll be feeling good for that. I think I'll still be feeling good enough to eat that fillet though. By the way, so for my wife's birthday, they knew they were going to keep it a light day. We got the Treasury auctions and just the Chicago Fed National Activity Index. That's it. They already knew. Easy day tomorrow. 22nd, Tuesday, you got Fed manufacturing from Richmond. Still in contraction, so that's minor. But they can't even take off Thanksgiving week. We got 1, 2, 3 Fed speakies on Tuesday. Oh, what do these people have to say so much? Wednesday, day before Thanksgiving, you got durable goods coming out. Unless that's a big miss or beat, I don't think it's going to affect the markets that much. But if it's a big miss or beat, yeah, it can have some ripple effects. Since Thursday, the market's closed, you got continuing and initial jobless claims coming out on Wednesday. Remember, that's normally a Thursday thing that's coming out on Wednesday because of the holiday. Unless one of those is a big shocker, again, the market will shrug it off. But if it's something big, like we got some big miss, that could still do it. We got the composite PMIs for S&P, manufacturing and services. Still see if that's in contraction or expansion. So this, remember the smaller sort of cousins of the ISM, but if these are in contraction or miss big, could have a ripple effect. So there's potentially some things in a thinner market on Wednesday. A lot of the big boys take off or turn it over to the junior traders, or at least they might stick around the morning and then turn it over. But if stuff comes out with a bullish tendency, it could easily run the rest of the day, Wednesday and Friday, follow through with Friday. Consumer sentiment, remember that would normally come out on Friday. It's coming out on Wednesday. So if that is a big miss or beat, especially let's say that comes in better than forecast, could be another catalyst to a bullish Wednesday. Crude numbers as normal. And then we have the FOMC minutes from the last meeting on Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Yay. So I doubt anything will be shocking in there because we got so much Fed speak. You got to be sort of prepared for it. If the markets are thinning out Wednesday afternoon, it could be a catalyst for something. Then Thursday, Thanksgiving, and Friday, Black Friday, nothing. Thursday and Friday, there is nothing. Nothing. Stock market map from Friday. Healthcare. Keep an eye on healthcare. I put that in the weekly sector overview. Healthcare, don't ignore healthcare coming up. I talked about energy also in the weekly sector overview. Starting to look for a pullback there. Everything else, consumer defensive, there's a pretty strong rotation into also. So do keep an eye on that this week. Sectors for last week, basic materials pulling back, energy pulling back, real estate pulling back. I wouldn't touch real estate. I wouldn't touch real estate with Coco's money. Consumer defenses, you see the rotation into there in healthcare. Overall, big rotation in utilities. Utilities could be a play I talked about in sector overview also. So please do check that out if you are a member of the channel. 75% for the 50 basis point, 25% for the 75 basis point. I really do think this one is in the bag. Especially there was some Fed stuff over the weekend yesterday, which was really reinforcing the 50 again. Fear and greed, still in greed mode. Again, I keep an eye on this because upwards in this area, we'll watch for more substantial topping patterns. Current market valuation, fairly valued, but climbing back closer to that overvalued range as a whole. Remember, even below zero, it's fairly valued. So I'm not expecting before this whole bear market is over us to get down to the undervalued area. In terms of earnings, then I'll get back to comments. Earnings, shortened earnings week. Interesting stuff for me, Zoom, Dell. tomorrow. I'm going to peek at Urban Outfitters tomorrow afternoon. Not much. I guess some people will be looking at Futu and NIU tomorrow morning. Not much that's going to be market moving, though. Zoom and Dell probably won't be market moving. Now, Best Buy is going to be interesting from the retail perspective, especially if they do on their guidance. Their guidance for how they're expecting the holidays to play out. Dollar Tree, I'm really interested in. Dollar Tree can be a really good trading also. A lot of people overlook it. It's actually some fun trading in Dollar Tree, and you can catch decent trends. I'm going to be looking at that to see how they're doing from the lower end consumer. That's about it. Autodesk, going to look at Tuesday after the close, and of course, HP. We'll look at Nordstrom just to see how the upper end consumer with any outlook from them for the holiday season. Then Wednesday, John Deere. And nothing pretty much after the close. So Wednesday will be interesting from John Deere. All right. Guns and Beef, you're probably on watch list up. They're trying to get me out of this town. I wish they would. Yeah, there's no vegan here. It's not happening. So, there's a certain sector I don't run around. Well, is forex closed Thursday? No, forex is not closed Thursday because the rest of the world doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving. So you have the foreign exchange markets completely open because there's no bank holiday in the rest of the world. Happy Sunday, Connor. There we go. So good to see everybody here. All right. Where do we sit? Just to glance back at this. Where did that reset? Well, I got multiple stuff on here. From a S&P perspective, I'm going to be keeping an eye on this week to see if it does close above about this 4,044. That would technically tip it back to neutral mode. And we still don't have the close above 4,018, which would technically tip it into a short-term bullish mode continuation. So that's what I'm watching overall this week after last week being a pause bar. Overall, yes, slightly down, but pretty much a sideways correction. I am paying attention, though, if we break below Thursday's lows. If we do, I'm focusing on this little area. And this will be at the beginning of the week. We're not yet at cycle bottoms on the daily. All right, cycle bottoms still have a little room down to go on the daily. So I'd be watching for key support coming in, and I'm splitting the two moving averages here right around 38.67. If we pull back, that's going to be very key. Does not invalidate any recovery move. Still targeting a reconnection with the 200. Nothing's changed there either. From the weekly perspective, cycles at the top. So what will be now interesting is we're getting through another top to bottom cycle on the daily. When that gets to another top on the daily, depending on where the weekly is, we could really be lined up for a substantial push lower again. So that will get my spidey sense up. Other than that, let's see. Short term, I have the harmonics on here from this pullback move. I'm paying attention to 39.81 and then 39.99, especially if we get a 4-hour close above 39.99. Should retest the highs from Tuesday. Key support is coming in virtually at Thursday's lows. Minor for overnight, I'm going about 39.32. Majors 39.13. Hey, Daniel, happy Sunday. All right, so that's where that sits. NASDAQ. The NASDAQ, remember we have triggered Still this longer term double. This pullback did not invalidate it. I'm watching the 50% level from the harmonics, about 11,823.50 for a 4-hour for starting to break into that. Then the 4-hour close above 11,897. Close above there, retest of the highs back from Tuesday. Minor support coming in about 11.6, major support 11.528. We break below that. We're into a clear path move. Then 11.416 and 11.296 are my key support levels. We have the cycles getting to the bottom, but not yet bottomed on the daily basis. Pay attention to this 11.416 area with the rising daily rotation zone if we do pull back on a closing basis, especially for the rotation zone. From the weekly, we're at the top. So pay attention to that when we get back to top and top with the cycles. Dow. The Dow actually closed the week higher. And you see back from mid-August, we got a little selling pressure here, selling pressure here. So if we start breaking and you see selling pressure back in April and May up at this level, you can see it with these wicks. We start breaking through there about 34,000. And we technically 33,758 and the weekly close 33,775. That is a close above the 62.5. I'm targeting 34,783 in the shorter term. Once we get that, if a nice daily close above 34,000 could be a little breakout play back to that 34,783, and it's within the probabilities it could retest the highs back from last January. Do keep that in mind. That's within probabilities. Hey, Rod, good afternoon. So, yeah, it was just a barely closed higher, but the way it's tested out, that does qualify it. I'm really focused on this 34,783 area. There was major selling pressure up here in March and April. All right. Oh, the pullback levels on the Dow. I got overexcited there. Minor 33,473, more significant 33,205. Russell. Pullback, still expecting it to complete the pattern. Back below the 200, though, was interesting. I'll be interested to see where this week finishes up relative to that 200. Cycle still pulling back on the Russell and pulled back to the daily rotation zone. So it could be an interesting breakout play on the Russell above about 1872. That would be a breakout back above Friday's high and the 200. To retest this high area. There's lots of selling pressure between about 1893 and 1905. Russell also not closing above the 62.5. Oh, no, not just yet. So, raise stops, but still really tactical trading required. Black Friday pending. I agree. There could be an interesting, if we get a bullish move, there could be some interesting short-term plays. But overall, for the most part, I think that's good advice, Daniel, is to manage already positions and don't do anything silly. If we start getting into some bullish plays this week, if nothing puts a kibosh on it, there could be some interesting run-up plays. I still think, again, we don't have a major setup yet, but if we do, there could be a rug pull sometime in December. DAX, marching higher. Breakout move would be going towards 14,600. It'll be interesting to see if it gets to close above 14,607. Key support coming in about 14,200. The notes. The notes, after triggering the double, running up close that stop reduction, and I have the stop reduction on here right now. If it does break below Friday's lows, watch for support coming in about 111.21. Would still not nowhere close to invalidating the pattern, but it's pulled back to the daily rotation zone. A break above for shorter term plays, a break above about 112.26, and then you could use the intra double patterns of 113.17 and a half, and then the next major area is 114.11. Yeah, I saw Michael Burry's tweet. Remember, he's not so worried about exact timing, and I agree. We're going to get a significant another rollover. So for tactical traders, yeah, he was short. How much was he short the disaster going into 2008 with the housing stuff? He was short a long time. And I think he'll be right again with his short play because we're still bearish from the long-term plays. It's just it does because he tweets out he's massively short does not mean you go in Monday and say I'm mortgaging the house and putting everything on the short side of the market because he can outlast a lot more than a lot of people can in terms of things running against him. I did years ago, Connor. Years ago. So, dollar index, still watching for this recovery back to the rotation zone. On the weekly basis, little potential bottoming candle with cycles at the bottom for the weekly. So we start breaking above last week's high. Could easily see the push up into the weekly rotations or the daily rotation zone. 107.26 is the first level, and then about 108.55. I see where things lie, Gary. I see Dallas Cowboys are even more important than the market. Not that there's a way to record the beginning of a game or the ending. Just messing with you, Gary. Enjoy your game. Thanks for tuning in. VIX, still expecting to push lower, so not much to talk about there. Crude, we tested this key area. The only short play, I'm watching for some bounce in price action. Longer term, we should still see retest this 70 area, 70 being 69.87. But watching for if we do get a bounce for a short-term bounce higher to about 85.25. Where else do we sit? Just real quick, gold. Gold is in a key pullback zone, so it'd be an interesting rotation play above Friday's high, especially with the close above Friday's high for a run at the 200 is what I'm keeping an eye on. If we do break below 1740, watching for a possible return to 1720 before stabilizing there. Bitcoin, trading right at this 62.5. There was a big hack Ethereum seller converting into Bitcoin. So there's been a temporary floor under Bitcoin besides the wash trading. So don't get faked out by any bullish moves in Bitcoin. What else do we have? Euro. Should reorder these. Euro, watching this daily rotation zone and Monday and Tuesday low areas about 102.80 for a pullback there. Pound, keeping an eye at about 117.55 for support. Tesla, remember the potential double bottom is still in play, but a break below this 177 area could be a quick trip to 169.60, and then 163 is very, very key. All right. I think that's about it. What else? Let's just check in at a couple other. Apple, by the way, just keep an eye on this. that this, even though it looks weird, is a potential double top. And you have a gap down here, which would be virtually filled if that were to trigger. So on a close below Thursday's low, 150.72, then you get the bigger pullback. Although on a break above Friday's high, if it's a bullish week, watch, because it still does favor to return to 154.64, which would reconnect it with the 200. So those are the two little plays for a breakout in Apple. Microsoft has a little flag pullback pattern. Only concern with Microsoft is if there's a break below about 234.65 with a gap fill magnet down there. That's the only thing I'll keep an eye on from a mega cap perspective there. Amazon, there's no double yet, but if we start breaking below Friday's low, there's a gap left behind down here. So that could easily be targeted this week. So below about 92.90, you could watch out below. I would not ignore this gap, this little opening price at 89.47 though. That could find some pretty substantial support around there. So that would be a first target on a rollover right there. How's Intel doing? Well, since I talked about it way back here, it's up substantially, but this is one I'd recommend trading around the core position. If it starts breaking back below this uprising channel, we could easily see a retest of these low areas if the market does break down. Would not surprise me with cycles at the top on the weekly and on the daily. Cycles are getting to the bottom. But once it gets to the top and top again, we could see an easy breakdown to retest these lower areas. Would not, again, surprise me at all. So this is something, from my perspective, is trading around a core position, unwinding stuff, holding a key core, and then adding back in at lower prices and bullish reversal patterns. All right, I'm going to let everybody get back to their Sunday. There's no need to keep this going longer than necessary. Hope everyone has a fantastic rest of their day. Thank you for tuning in. Everybody watching it on demand, thank you for showing up. And I'll be back tomorrow morning to cover the overnight price action and see what's setting up going into a quiet news day on Monday. You're welcome, Daniel. Talk to everyone later. Bye for now.